Hello friends, my name is Vas Solo. Welcome to Why Spirit Matters, a channel devoted to spirituality, to self-improvement, and to big ideas. Today I'll dispel another myth that exists about the spiritual path, which is that spirituality is based on blind belief. Now, is there any merit to this? Let's take a closer look and find out.
Who is in my temple? Who is in my temple?
Like everything else in life, spirituality has two sides, a genuine side and a bogus side. That's why I don't blame people who think that it's based on imagination, because to some extent, they're right. There are people who consider themselves spiritual, but aren't.
Very sexual.
There are so-called gurus who claim to be enlightened, but aren't.
So, the secret. How to believe in the secret and the laws of attraction. This thing changed my life. But a lot of people don't quite get it, you know?
And there's plenty of organizations out there who claim to teach the Word of God, but don't.
That is God penetrating your heart. It's burning on the inside of you, and you need to make a vow of faith of $1,000.
And then on the other side, you have genuine spirituality, which has nothing to do with that chicanery. That's why it's important to separate the wheat from the chaff. So let's take a look at both sides to see how they differ. First, let's look at people who claim to be spiritual, but don't really know what that means. To see what I'm talking about, just go on Instagram, type in the hashtag spiritual, and see how many pictures of girls in bikinis comes up. Or posts about witchcraft, crystals, fairies. For some people, spirituality is based on their imagination. For others, it's a business. For some, it's a trendy identity. But on the flip side of that, there are genuine seekers for whom it's a quest for the truth. These are people like myself who want to know what life is all about, who we are, and how we got here. Of course, everyone who starts out on the path falls for some of the superficial trappings that come with the label of being spiritual. Every seeker has to go down a few blind alleys before they figure out what is essential, what isn't, and before they find their way to a genuine path. When a seeker decides to follow a specific path, that usually means that they also accept a teacher or a guru that can help them navigate that path. Now, a guru's only purpose is to give the seeker the tools that will help them find the truth for themselves. It's not to tell them what to think or to take their money.
A true guru would be more interested in what he can give you and what he can take from you. This is a very simple criteria.
Of course, for every one authentic guru, of which there are only a handful, there are thousands of so-called gurus and charlatans and tricksters that simply brainwash their followers and take advantage of them.
I've read all your books. To tell you the truth, I kind of have a schoolgirl crush.
What does your husband think about this crush?
That's why spirituality does have that connotation that it is based on blind belief, because there are some people who blindly follow a person without actually examining whether what they're teaching them is doing something for their life. Okay, let's look at religion. Because throughout history, religion has been the biggest and loudest proponent of spirituality. And it's been the cause of a lot of good. The idea that all people are inherently equal and valuable came from Christ. But it's also been the cause of a lot of wars and injustices. And intelligent people have a hard time reconciling this dichotomy. The problem has never been with religion itself. It's always been with people's ignorance that distorted the truth in the teachings. What prophets like Jesus and others taught were universal principles that govern our existence. These are natural laws, just like math and physics. And just like these laws, they've been used for both good and evil by humanity. So it's people that corrupt religion and not the other way around. How else can we explain people killing each other in the name of God when all religions teach that killing is wrong? The other problem is that most religious texts were compiled hundreds of years after the death of their messengers, which ended up diluting the teachings. And once organizations were established to propagate the message, because they were ran by regular people, they eventually became corrupted by power and greed. Which is not to say that all churches are corrupt. It's just that most of them are unable to give their followers the tools that they need to realize these universal truths for themselves. And some people are fine with that. Some people want to be told what to believe and what to think. But many others are not. A lot of people nowadays are saying, why should I blindly believe something just because it says it in the book? And they're perfectly right to feel that way. And that's why I'm making this video, to talk about what genuine spirituality actually is. Okay, let's define genuine spirituality. Genuine spirituality is that which helps us find permanent bliss and eradicate suffering. It's supposed to give us the tools that'll help us accomplish this. Genuine spirituality is very scientific in its approach, in that we test its principles and its methods in the laboratory of our own life and consciousness to see what works and what doesn't. I wouldn't spend 2 hours a day meditating if it didn't actually deliver on what it promised. I wouldn't live a certain way or make certain sacrifices if it didn't have a positive effect on my life. Now, I could wax poetically about all the wonderful things that have happened in my life as a result of following a spiritual path, but then I'd be a hypocrite just to ask you to believe me. Instead, I urge you to find out for yourself. First, investigate, and then form your own opinion. Because until then, your opinion that spirituality is based on blind belief is also based on blind belief. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the content, make sure to share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I upload one video every single week talking about spirituality, talking about big ideas, self-improvement, and what we can do to live a more meaningful life. Let me know in the comments what you thought of today's video. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.